What it is, y'all, we back. Yes, Rocky and Krystal. Oh, dang. Jack that up quick. Forgiveness. That's what we're talking about this week. Holla at your boy. Okay, man. The last video we talked about communication. You guys sent us a whole bunch of comments and emails, so keep them coming. Keep the emails, keep the comments coming. We appreciate you. Tell 3 more couples that you know of this week to subscribe to our channel, okay? Because we do this because you guys want us to do it, and we love helping people. So, forgiveness is the word of the week. When you're in a relationship, you think that you never do anything wrong. It's always the other person's fault, and vice versa. And sometimes it takes a little bit of therapy just to kind of talk about it, get it on out there. And then when you listening to the other person speak, it's like, you know what? She got a good point. Or he has a good point.
Yes, we have a good point, ladies, don't we? Most of the time, we're right. But sometimes we are wrong, and it does help to sit back and think and listen to them and kind of don't react right away. And you know what I've learned so far is silence is a good way to respond to your spouse. And what I mean by silence, because they really need to think about what you said. After you've already explained yourself, they're not hearing you, and you feel like they're not hearing you, just be quiet.
Yeah, and see, here's the deal. When she says silence, that doesn't mean ignore your mate. That's not the kind of silence she's talking about. She's talking about, okay, if they're not gonna truly hear what I'm saying as I'm expressing my feelings, then I'm just gonna be quiet and let them kind of think about it. Because that does speak a lot louder sometimes rather than arguing back and forth. Because if you're talking or yelling and screaming at each other back and forth, neither one of you are listening to each other.
And if you're gonna have an attitude, then it's no point either.
Not now.
Because you're holding a wall up because you're so protective of your own feelings anyway. You're kind of like defending yourself.
Right. So the F word is the word of the week. Forgiveness. Yes, indeed. So when you forgive somebody, you gotta throw it out the door. You gotta lock it up and throw it out and never bring it up again.
Because you're never gonna forget. But when you forgive someone, it helps you move forward. And when you're forgiving that person, you have to keep moving. You can't keep bringing it up. So just because you got in an argument doesn't mean, oh, well, you remember what I forgave you about? You kind of just go, you can't keep throwing that back in their face.
Right.
And you can't do little jabs and bring it up because it has nothing to do with right now. And so it's not necessarily forgetting, because you don't have to forget, because that's something that is there and that's something that happened and it's horrible. But when you forgive someone, it's easy to look back at it and be like, man, we came a long way.
Right.
And look what we made it through. So you don't really necessarily forget it, but you want to move forward from it and do not throw it in their face every single time. It's like when things are great, it's great. But when it gets bad, you make it 10 times harder for it to even get through what you're arguing about anyway, because you throw that back in their face.
This right here is almost the death of most relationships.
Yes.
If you really don't forgive your mate, then don't say it. Just be honest and say, listen, I don't forgive you, and this is bothering me, and I don't know if I can get over it. Because at the end of the day, honesty is so crucial.
It is.
And we'll talk about that in another video, but it's part, they kind of work together,
Forgiveness, you have to first forgive. First, you got to be honest, and then once you're being honest, and once you've lost that, how do I say it? How am I trying to say it? Okay, let's say y'all are happily married. What brought y'all together is being trustworthy, loving each other, and all that stuff. And one of you broke that. Mm-hmm. One of you lied and wasn't honest. And so the first thing you got to do now is forgive them.
Right.
So this is where the forgiveness comes in. Now let's forgive them for what they did on whatever they broke in y'all's vows, whatever they broke within y'all's relationship. You have to forgive them, because then that's whenever the trust starts to come. Mm-hmm. And then that's where the honesty comes. Like all of those fall into place after you start to forgive them.
And she made a good point right there. a lot of relationships also fail because there's no trust on either side. And if somebody lied and then you forgave them for that lie, that's gonna make that person trust you even more because you're trusting in them. Like, okay, I understand you made a mistake. I forgive you. Let's move forward. That trust is gonna get tighter. You may not understand it right now. It may not seem like, wait a minute, how? Trust me. Yeah. Because if I made a mistake and she forgave me for my mistake, then I'm gonna thank her because she's trusting in me to become a better husband, a better mate, a better person. I know I've stumbled. Okay, now I'm getting back up and that's gonna make me better. I don't wanna go back down that road and make that same mistake again. So it's gonna make it a lot stronger. I mean, forgiveness is crucial.
My mom actually told me this over the break and it made so much sense. She said when her mother had talked to her and her family and her daughters when they were getting married, she said, being married is like having a car. When you have a car and everything's going good, there's nothing to fix. But when there's a problem with it and it starts to kind of break down, what do you do with the car? You got to get it fixed, right? It's up to you to fix the car because if you never fix that car, it's eventually going to die. And it's going to break down and you have to be done with it. So that's a lot like a marriage. When something's wrong with your marriage, you have to fix it.
Right.
As the wife, the woman of the marriage, to fix your marriage. So sometimes she says, so you have to take it upon yourself to fix your marriage if there's a problem. Never allow that problem to not be fixed because then your marriage could die. You do not want your marriage to end.
Bingo!
So women, take it upon yourself to fix your marriage.
So you got to understand that. It's crucial, real crucial, to when you say, I forgive you, you better do some long soul searching and some long thinking, looking in that mirror saying, can I really get past this? Can I really not ever, keep thinking about this over and over again before you say I forgive you? Because when you say it, that's it. You're done. Keep it moving.
But ladies, we have a problem forgiving them too. So do not hold your grudges either. And do not always throw it back in their face. Stop it. Like sometimes just stop and be a woman about yours. And if you forgive him, forgive him. And just pray with him, pray to God. At the end of the day, everything will come together. It's just going to automatically come together if you just pray to God for real.
That's where it all starts, man. At the end of the day, where's your spiritual relationship at? If one of you guys are spiritual and you really want God to be the true foundation, you pray together, you stay together. But the other one is not really spiritually strong, just kind of like, oh yeah, I believe in God. Yeah, I'm a Christian. Yeah, I go to church every now and then, but they really ain't got it in their heart. Doomsday. It's not going to happen. It's not going to work.
But you keep praying.
Right.
Because God's going to take care of him and take care of you. And he's going to do what's best for both of you guys. And if God's leading you in a certain direction, follow his lead. And just keep one foot in front of the other. And don't look back.
There's a thing called the 7 rule. Everybody wants to be a 10. 1 out of 10. Everybody want to be perfect. You can't be perfect. It's not going to be happening. But if we can be a 7 consistently, that's pretty solid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I would love to be a 7 every single day. So when we are knocking heads and not on the same page, we know how to communicate and get through it. It doesn't ruin our entire day. Because if you have an argument at 10 o'clock in the morning and you're still mad at each other at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, something wrong. Learn how to have that argument, address it, get your little space if you need space or whatever. And within an hour, you're back best friends. You're back if everything is cool.
For 2016, do your best to not go to sleep mad.
Yes.
Let's just make that one of our New Year's resolutions.
You got to treat it like it's the last day that you're living on earth, because that one day that you go to bed mad or you leave the house mad, you can get in a car accident, God willing, nothing happens to you, but anything can happen. And the last thing that you told your spouse was, I hate you. Oh, I can't stand you.
You want to say, I love you before you leave. You want to say, I love you before you go to bed, because nobody's promised tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, let's just leave peacefully with each other. If you're the one that caused the problem or issue and you want forgiveness for them, you need to forgive yourself. Because if you don't forgive yourself, how can he forgive you or how can she forgive you?
Right.
So, and it's harder to forgive yourself than it is to just ask for forgiveness. And I'm a living testimony of it. So once you forgive yourself and a thought or something tries to come your way, just pray to God and be like, God, what do you want me to do with this? Get this out of my mind or whatever. And I know that by me doing that, I hardly ever think of anything like that. It never crosses my mind. I don't even be scared that I would ever mess up again. Because guess what? I know I'm not. Because he's in my corner and I know who he is. And I'm more spiritual than ever now. So I'm not scared of anything. And can't nobody take me back to that place. And I'm such a better woman to this day. So I'm excited. So I say pray about it. It won't, if something was to happen just like that situation or it pops up in front of you, you'll be like, oh, I remember that. And you'll laugh at it because you'll be like, we came a long way.
Right.
The devil tried, but he didn't win.
And that's crucial. When you get to the point where you can laugh at the mistakes that you've made in the past, that's when you've really reached harmony. That's when you reach that goodness in that spiritual place, because you got to be there, y'all. If you want to be happy, your spiritual foundation is everything.
Yes.
So there you have it. Forgiveness was the word, man. We hope some of the information that we share with you guys that sticks to you, go out there and work on it, man. And we urge everybody that's watching these videos, watch them together. Watch them as a couple. And if you're single and you're just watching them because you want to, learn kind of some stuff when you do get into a serious relationship, that's fine too. But all couples watch them together, man. That's why we try to post these on the evening time, like on Tuesday at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
And when we don't post on Tuesdays at 7 o'clock, our apologies. We apologize for that. We do have kids that got games and stuff. Huh?
You said apologize.
Instead of apologize? Y'all know what I mean.
No.
Doggone it.
No. Jesus.
What? So leave a comment, send us an email, tell as many people as you can, subscribe. We love your comments. We respond to all of them. We respond to all your emails. So if you don't want anybody to know your business, you can send us an email. Okay.
Yeah.
If you don't mind just putting a comment out there, do it right here below. There you have it.
So next week we're going to be talking about trust and friendship. I think those two go together. So stay tuned until the next video. This is why I leave in the videos. Why? You're making me hot. Bye, everybody.